Hi everybody, it's Lace, and this is part 2 in our combat tutorial. This one we're going to start talking about decks. To bring up decks, I'm going to hit Y, and you're going to see I have some ones that I've called different things. I can create one more deck. 6 is the max that you can have right now. I sure would like to see that upped because I like to use them not only for combat skills but for outfits. So if I hit coconuts and I hit equip, basically my clothes just changed. As you can see, I have a horse head on and flaming fists. I can go into modify, and down here you have this button for use current equipment, and it's showing the things that I have on. So if I open up my inventory and change out my hat here, I can put on our flower crown character, drop that on the paper doll. Now I have a crown on, and I say use current equipment. It now remembers that my flower crown is what I have on my head. So there we go. We got our little outfit on. I can go back into, let's say, Elven Dance, I think, and equip that one. And you can see my clothes changed. Okay. Go back in pole arm, ready to fight, and my outfit changed again. So that's one way to use the decks to, wear different outfits and things. Their primary purpose is, of course, for hunting. So I have a pole arm one, and I have this static demo deck. That's what we're going to get into next. Is basically in your combat there are 3 types of decks that you can build. You can build a static deck, you can build a completely random deck, or you can do a combination of the two. We're going to start off with a static deck because that's as a new player, brand new, after answering your paths of love, courage, truth. You're going to have some basic skills, you're going to have some basic equipment, and you're going to have a static deck that's already been pre-built for you from the game. So I'm just going to go over that for those so you can see the differences between the 3. So I'm going to hit equip for my static deck, and let's look at it real quick here. You can see I have a sword equipped on this one, and I have sword type things on my bar. And this is, again, if you'd gone Path of Courage, it's going to look something similar to this. All these will be filled out. You probably will have some potions here, a light spell, and some other stuff. I just built this as a mock-up. What makes it static is when I click or unclick this lock button, unlock is now random, lock, it's static. So static means, it's got the gold around it, and that skill is the only skill that's ever going to pop up in that window and stay there and be on a cooldown timer. So if I escape out of this, I'm just going to hit Z to go into combat. You're going to see how these skills are spinning up slowly when I first go into combat. It takes them a while, and some take longer to load because they have longer cooldowns. When I use a skill, it's now back on a cooldown. But I can use something else, but now it's cooling down, and that's kind of how you'll rotate your cycle of using spells and stuff. So there are cooldowns. That is a slight disadvantage on the static deck compared to the randoms, because the randoms can have the same skill pop up right behind each other, so you don't have a cooldown. And I'll demonstrate that in a minute. I'm going to go out of combat here, and let's just look at this skill set again. Again, static demo deck. You would see slugs were appearing. Those are the unused skills. They don't do anything, but they have a time or two before something else would pop up in them. Again, we'll get into that probably more on the random decks. You may say, well, why would I want to use a static component ever? Well, the reason is I'm going to hit K for skills, and I'm going to go into blades here, and you see I've gotten my 10 in these. So I could technically go to the advanced trainer and train this up. Now, in order to get the next one, I need to get 10 in it. So what I could do is, after I trained it, is in my deck I would find that skill. We'll pretend it's lightning. That was the blade one. And I could put it in here as a static skill, lock it down, and let's pretend these were random. But now when I want to use this skill, because I'm going to want to build it to 10 pretty quickly since I'm by the advanced trainer, and then I want to go and just keep using it over and over until it gets to 10, and then when I go back I have my 10 and I can train that. So the static's very good for getting those initial 10s as you're working different schools and trying to build up those skills and work down the trees to get to the end game. So I've built a little demo deck here of pole arms that I have equipped, and you'll see it has still some slugs in it. When I go in here to modify it, what I want to show you is about how you stack and control things going to the same key. So on this one, we've got Obsidian Arrow. Let's say I want to throw a gust in there, and I want the gust to come up on the 6 key. I can take the spell, and I'm just going to drag it. And now it's stacked on there, kind of like how you see over here. So now on the 6 key, the only two things that are going to pop up there are Gust and Obsidian Arrow. So I can control where the randoms pop up. If you leave one of these blank, then glyphs will feed into that. If I unclick this one and say, remove, now when I go into combat, different things are going to go in here. And I'm not going to like that because I want to control what keys I want to hit. I'm going to start getting some muscle memory from that and things like that. So I'll just throw another one on here so that doesn't happen. Let's stack some more on here. We got lightning. Let's throw a lightning in here. Let's throw something else. What we're going to throw? Let's throw an immolation on here. Let's throw a fire arrow here. Okay, now no slugs are going to come up. Only skills. I'm gonna hit done. I'm gonna hit Z just to show this in combat. So when you first go into combat, obviously things have to pop up. These skills are popping up. There's my fire arrow. We'll keep a high on that. Oh, got another fire arrow. See how that comes up twice, no cooldown? Got my root. Got a gust in there. That was just on its own. Burning through these. And you see how the things are popping up quick. There's that immolation. Fizzled. And there's my fire arrow. So you see how you get a lot. You don't have that cooldown like we did in the static deck. So that's it for this tutorial. Take care, happy hunting, and be safe.